welcome to my channel. My name is John and this is an ASMR video. And in today's video, I'd like to tell you guys a little bit of curiosities about some countries, like some facts that maybe you guys don't know about them. These countries are Brazil, Italy, Germany, United States, Australia, and Japan. And I'm gonna tell like 5 facts about them, each one of them. Starting with Italy. And fact number 1. Italy was the first country to ever use the fork for food in Europe. Before fork was used for something else, I don't know what. But they are the first one to use it, mainly because of pasta, of course, because they love pasta. Italy as well. Of course, another fact about food. they have more than 400 types of cheese in Italy. So that's a lot of cheese. I only know like 5 of them. I don't know why there are so many type of cheese. Fact number 3. If you go to Italy and you don't know Italian and you wanna go to the movie theater, chances are you're gonna have a bad experience because the movies there are always dubbed. So there are no subtitles for like in English or Italian or whatever, as all of their movies are dubbed to the Italian language, of course. Number 4. The oldest university of Europe is in Italy. It's the University of Bologna, and it was founded in 1088 or 1088. So it's really old. And it's actually the university I want to study in the future, by the way. Last fact about Italy. It's not about Italy itself, but about Rome. Rome is known as the city of cats. There are like dozens of thousands of cats in Rome, in the streets of Rome. And that's because in the past, the cats were seen as a good thing because they would eat the rats, so it would help like not spread the diseases. Next one is about Germany. In Germany, there's no speed limit in the highways, so you can go like 200 miles an hour, and so it's okay. You're not gonna get fined for it. Many of you know about that. They are called the Autobahn. Another fact is that in Germany, pretty much everything, like with a few exceptions, close on Sunday. So if you wanna like go to buy something on a Sunday, you're probably not gonna get it because it will be closed. Like they don't work on Sunday for anything. And this one, believe it or not, Germany is not the country that consumes the most beer in the world. It's actually the 3rd country. The first one I think is Czech Republic, if I'm not mistaken. Number 4 is that in Germany you basically can create words, like because you know like these long words that they have in German. So it's basically many words put together to create one word, you know. For example, I'll get like the word Mittagessen. Mittag means noon, and Essen means food. So it basically means the food of the noon, which is lunch. And that's just one example, but there are bigger words for that. Last fact is that if you go to jail in Germany and you try to escape jail, that's not a crime. Actually, you won't be punished for that or for anything. You will only be punished if you like hurt someone trying to escape, if you break anything, or if you kill anyone trying to escape. But if only the fact of trying to escape is not a crime. The next country is United States. United States, there's curiosity that you cannot drink alcohol on the streets unless you put it in a plastic bag that it doesn't show that the drink you're drinking is alcohol. I know it's a little weird because like if you put it in a plastic bag, it's obvious that it's alcohol. But like if it doesn't show it, it's not a crime. So it's a little weird. Many of you already noticed that in movies, in American movies, when the protagonist goes to a gas station, there are no attendants to help you fill the gas of your car. That's because there are none. Like they don't have it. You have to put the gas yourself. Which for some countries is really weird. For example, here in Brazil, we have the attendants for that. So I have no idea how to put gas in my own car. The next one is that usually in the kitchen there's no trash can like for you to put food away, like rest of food. It's because in the sink they have this triturator that triturates the food, so you can put food in the sink and it's okay. It won't clog. And last one is that each state in United States has its own law. Of course, that there are laws that they share the same thing. They share the same idea, but each one has their own law. So there are laws that has in one state, but there is not in another. Next one is Australia. Australia is a really big country, and it's weird that there are more kangaroos than humans in Australia. So, if all the kangaroos decide to wage war against humanity on Australia, probably the kangaroos would win because they have more number. Speaking of animals, there are type of animals that only exist in Australia, such as kangaroos, koala, Tasmanian devil, and platypus. And these animals do not exist naturally in other countries. Of course, that maybe they bring them to other countries for the zoo or something, but naturally they do not exist in those other countries. Even though Australia is really big, 90% of all the Australians, they live on the coast, so basically on the beach, because in the middle of Australia is really hot, it's a desert, so almost no one lives there. And speaking of coast or beaches, if you wanna try to visit one beach every day in Australia, it will take you over 27 years to visit all of them, because there are a lot of beaches, like so many. And Australia is the only continent that have no active volcanoes, like none. So it's quite safe in that matter. Of course it's safe, but at the same time they have huge spiders. The next one is about Japan. In the schools of Japan, there are no janitors. So you're thinking, okay, the school is dirty. No, actually, who cleans the school? It's the students. They do that so they can learn like to respect the environment they are in. They basically learn how to respect. Number 2 is that Japan has one of the biggest life expectancy in the whole world. The life expectancy in Japan is 84 years old, so it's really high. That's why there are a lot of elderly in Japan. Number 3 is that there are more than 2,000 earthquakes every year in Japan, even though most of them you won't notice because they are weak. But there are a lot of earthquakes, like a lot. Number 4. Number 4 is about the number 4, because the number 4 in Japanese is something called unlucky or cursed, because the number 4 in Japanese is pronounced she, and she also means death. So usually on buildings, for example, they jump the number 4. Like it goes from number 3 to number 5, or from number 3 to 3A. They have the same thing in United States sometime with the number 13. So in Japan it's number 4. And often they pronounce the number 4 as yon instead of she. And number 5 is that in many places, in restaurants, when you're gonna pay your bill, you tip the waiter for the good service. However, if you do that in Japan, they consider it something rude. It's not well seen. They do not like tipping because it's like you're paying them to do a better job, you know. So it's don't tip in Japan. They're gonna hate it. And last country is Brazil. The name of Brazil comes from the tree that was really common here in the past, called Pau Brasil, and that means red as ember. That's because inside of the tree it was red, so they used this red to paint things. There are pictures online about it. It's really cool. It's no surprise that the Brazilian people really love coffee. They love it so much that Brazil is the largest coffee producer in the entire world. We produce a lot of coffee. But me personally, I don't like it that much. Number 3 is that Rio de Janeiro once was the capital of Portugal in the past in 1763. And it was the one and only European capital outside of Europe. Number 4, it's about Brazil and Japan. The biggest Japanese community outside Japan is in Brazil. There are almost 2 million Japanese descendants in Brazil. That's because in the past they came to Brazil hoping for a better life, to escape the war and everything. So they came to Brazil and they stayed, of course, and they had families, etc. So today there are almost 2 million descendants of Japanese in Brazil. And number 5 is there is an island in Brazil, really dangerous, because there are so many snakes. This island is called Ilha da Queimada Grande. Basically, there's an average of 5 snakes per square meter. So like a square meter is really small. There are 5 snakes per square meter. Basically, to go there, you need like a visa. Like the army needs to allow you to go there. You cannot go there by yourself. Usually, people who go there are like people who go to study the snakes, like biologists. Last fact about Brazil is that, believe it or not, Brazil is not the biggest exporter of Brazil's nuts. Yes, Brazil is not the biggest exporter of Brazil nuts. It's actually Bolivia. Even though we have the name of the fruit, it's not a fruit. No, I don't know the name. Even though we have the name of the food, we're not the biggest exporter. I don't know why. But yeah, that's about it for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. And I hope to see you guys in the next one, okay? Ciao.